Throughout my previous videos, I covered what went into and the changes made to the glorious game mode Zombies. This video is a summary of that, as I let you know the current state of Zombies today. Before I do, I'd love to know your views on the franchise as a whole. Are you still playing and enjoying Zombies? If so, then what game are you playing? Most importantly, are you looking forward to Black Ops 6?
WTF, mate?
For what started off as an Easter egg of its own, hidden deep within the completion of the campaign story, lay a new baby game mode that would transform the COD community into a cult-like following hungry for new content. This survival shooter would undertake vast changes later down the line, eventually splitting the community apart. As each new generation released, the traditions would change, birthing a new type of Zombies lover.
Time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
This of course was Call of Duty Zombies, created by Jesse Snyder and the Treyarch team. Made just for a bit of fun, this mode miraculously captivated the fans as they picked it apart trying to discover the mysteries behind the madness. This was a key part to what made Zombies what it is. Well, that and the lore that could be discovered within the maps, as the developers just added more and more lore within each map release. Using the Easter eggs dotted around the map, the players could interpret these how they wanted, and could fantasize about the crazy new world.
Bacon.
Then along came Black Ops 1, enhancing the meaning of Easter egg, giving every player what they wanted.
Lore.
Not just having the survival elements, the players now had an optional Easter egg they could achieve to make them feel rewarded for all their hard work. This kinda gave us an end for each of these new maps. Minus Kino, that was originally meant to be released on World at War, but we have Modern Warfare to blame for that. This was a super positive time to be part of the community. Content was at an all-time high, being one of my favourite multiplayer, campaign and zombie combos ever created. But hey, that's just because I did love tomahawking people around the map and dominating them in sticks and stones. But who didn't? The campaign was one of the best that we have ever had that wasn't a Modern Warfare title. I mean, who couldn't forget their iconic numbers?
The numbers! What are they saying?
Treyarch weren't holding back, dropping amazing DLC after DLC. Not only did the last DLC contain the original OG maps, allowing a new generation to experience where it all began, but you could now experience Area 51 for a brief moment before teleporting to the bloody moon! Treyarch weren't going to stop there though. Without pulling any punches, they even allowed you to blow up the freaking planet, creating one of the most iconic moments in zombie history. This was a great way to send off a great game, ready to begin another chapter in...
What? That stripper must have stolen my money.
This is where the community started to disagree with each other, mostly due to the fact that the OG crew had been given the boot. This meant you now had to play as the last 4 survivors on Earth after it had been somewhat destroyed. Some people would prefer the new playable characters, whereas some of us would just long for the OG crew. The first map, Transit, wasn't received super well either. This was due to the limitations that they had to add, due to the lack of power in the console. Adding fog, lava and denizens really annoyed people, but to be honest, I was just happy the map felt like it was an open world game for the first time. This was one of my favourite maps in Black Ops 2. Every improvement and new mechanic that had been implemented was met with a concoction of disgust, but also joy, as the Easter eggs were full of juicy lore, and the box was full of new goodies, but then comes along equipment. The shield was great, but having to lose that protection just to power stuff up around the map just sucked. As each DLC released, it felt like Treyarch listened just a little bit more, as finally they scrapped the new crew and brought back Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio and Richtofen with this glorious cinematic. Personally, tied with Transit, I think this is the best map on Black Ops 2.
I'll say it! I'll say it!
Ending this game off with a map that felt like it had been hand sculpted for the OG players was just the best way to end this generation, leaving the community united once again, as they look forward to what the future holds.
Yes, my children, gather round!
Introducing a new crew once again, it felt like Treyarch were testing the community. Feeling like a rug had been pulled beneath our feet, our beloved characters have been yeeted away once again. But this wouldn't deter the hardcore fans, as they embraced the changes to conquer the new challenges within this map, setting insane world records as they eventually fell in love with this map and the characters. Apart from me, because, well, they just sucked. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's just Richtofen suspending Dempsey in the air by his balls. Treyarch did the unthinkable. They listened to what we wanted, and we were now permanently reunited with the OG crew for the rest of this game. Giving us the perfect package enabled it to deliver an emotional story, gripping us with its amazing new lore. Boss battles, wonder weapons, and just general improvements they added to the mechanics just blew everyone away. Each map even felt like a perfect send-off to the OG crew that they really deserved, making way for the Primus crew to set things straight.
Oi, what about me?
You must be partners. You're dirty. Dirty.
Well, I'm just going to skip this one. But bridges had been burnt within the erupting inferno of a mess that some would call Black Ops 4, being the catalyst that caused the downfall of COD Zombies.
Oh, look, it's me. But not quite as magnificent.
When all hope was lost, Cold War came along. And for many, nothing would ever be right if it didn't contain the famous 4. And of course, this didn't. This meant that 80% of the player base went into this new generation already disappointed with a biased opinion, and to be honest, I just don't blame them. If it wasn't for the fact that I purchased this game on release simply to make content, and that I tried my best to give it the benefit of the doubt, I did actually seem to really like this. If not, then maybe I would have hated it too. That's right, I didn't actually hate this game, as I felt like the new mechanics were needed to give this game a fresh new spin, even if the point system sucked more balls than my ex.
First it takes my money, then it disappears.
For the first time in years, the majority of the player base agreed on something once again.
Call of Duty Vanguard sucks.
It sucks.
This weapon will be useless without bullets.
See, this is a tricky one. Being the first Modern Warfare game to host a zombies mode, it was okay. Being created for the average Joe to enjoy at the expense of the OG fans, this installment would always be mediocre, as you can clearly see it was created as a filler due to the disappointment we had in Call of Duty Vanguard. The community started to tear itself apart again, as we'd start seeing Milo's iconic face appear, as those who I feel were being honest about the game started to speak up. I can't help but see this game as a filler episode, just like you get in a TV series, just to long off the suspense for the amazing episode. Will that amazing episode be Black Ops 6?
A little crawling minion. I want one.
The reveal trailer just dropped, and I hate to say it, but it looks kinda sick. For once, I feel like they're finally listening to the players once again, as round-based maps are finally back. Terminus and Liberty Falls are the two new maps that will be dropping on launch, as Treyarch are finally spoiling us. Or just making up for the disappointing last few years of zombies we've just had. These will continue the intriguing and terrifying Dark Ether narrative that started in Black Ops Cold War. Even though we don't know too much about these maps, as we can only go off the few clips that we have of Terminus, I feel these will greatly impact the players' enjoyment, as people will rejoice when they get to experience it for themselves. This time, we'll get to do that with a set crew, with customized zombie voice lines to give us more story and lore, to immerse us back into this mode once again. Of course, you can still use your custom skins if you want to, as of course, Activision still needs to make that P. But why would you, when we finally have a set crew again? Let's just hope they're cool and don't suck balls just like Vanguard does. No surprise, just like every Call of Duty, they've changed the HUD once again, as that's just what happens in all new Call of Duties. However, now we have the chance to customize it for ourselves, to have a clean, streamlined experience, which I think will be perfect for those streamers with face cams, as they no longer need to change their setup and can just edit the HUD around what suits their needs. Theatre mode has returned, and could allow us to create some amazing cinematics using this feature, and then combine it with removing everything from the HUD, we can create some perfect content. But of course they've not specified if this is going to work for zombies just yet. And of course, to top it all off, they finally bring us fat zombies. Oh crap, that's the wrong clip. Just so we can relate to the zombies now. The new movement system is honestly blowing my mind, and this movement has been a consistent area of focus and innovation for the team over the last few years. Within Black Ops 6, they will be redefining the movement over an entire game, including zombies. For the first time ever, players can sprint, dive, and move in any direction. This new global system unlocks the ability to chain combat maneuvers like sliding, diving, and even when you're in prone. Being prone won't help too much in zombies, but I know some of these features will. Being able to spin 180 degrees whilst diving, fighting zombies, might not be too practical, but goddamn, you're gonna feel like a badass when you do it. This has the opportunity to enhance the fast-paced movement of those later rounds, as you now have what they call intelligent movement that will automatically assist you when you're doing various movements, such as sprint assist, mantle assist, and crouch assist. This will dramatically reduce the amount of buttons you need to press in order to interact with the scenery, allowing you to focus more on the zombies and the objective. Let's just hope they're not holding a hand with a million waypoints. This summary video kinda transformed into how the community reacted to each installment of Zombies, as in my recap of the earlier games, I didn't just want to repeat what I said in my previous videos. So I think it's only fair I talked about the community, and that's just what I'm going to do now about Black Ops 6. It's safe to say the community is fairly split at the moment, unless you only care about PvP, as most of the YouTubers' issues revolve around the multiplayer, due to skill-based matchmaking, which is understandable as this really reduces the enjoyment you can have. But hey, we only care about zombies here, so I thought I'd bring up this post that I noticed on X, or Twitter, or whatever you freaking want to call it. As you can see here, the latest Black Ops trailer got almost 50 million views, and Milo points out due to how the statistics look, these views must be paid for.
Not to be a buzzkill here, but many of these are actually paid views. And so this statistic of looking at what's the most viewed COD trailer of all time is no longer as reliable compared to what it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Which I think is a totally valid statement, as it can be clearly shown. However, him pointing out this clear fact has got the community all riled up on how he's so negative towards the community and towards all the new games.
I wanted to point out that there was an element here that I felt like people weren't aware of, and I'll elaborate on this in just a second. But the response that I got was posts like this saying, yeah, he's being negative, I'm noticing it now.
And honestly, I don't think this is the case. If anything, I've always felt he's been overly positive in the past when it comes to the new COD releases. However, over time he has matured and grown up and can now see COD a little clearer. Due to this, he is now able to notice when things are not always as they seem. I mean, he is the Easter egg man of course, so he's going to notice the finer details. With this, he's able to point out clear facts on how the game isn't created for the OG players like it used to be. And now it's sculpted around the new age gamer, which I don't think is a bad thing to say. I mean, it's true. The statement on the video isn't him hating the new age gamer or this new game, it's simply pointing out facts as he noticed when diving deep into the Easter eggs that you can clearly see. Of course, people don't like this and just think he's being negative, and that just really shows the state of the community at the moment. People get overly defensive if someone doesn't agree with their views, rather than trying to listen to their point of view. Milo, like myself, just wants what's best for the community, and if pointing out that they've had to pay for views to warn people that the hype around this game has just been tampered with, then I think this is a good thing, as it brings to our attention that this game might not be as well received as Activision wants us to believe. So this leads me to my final statement. I'm personally looking forward to this Call of Duty. Not buying one since Cold War, I feel it's a good time to dip my toes back into the water that we call zombies. This is so I can experience the game firsthand. I do plan on pre-ordering it and streaming the campaign, multiplayer, but most importantly the zombies mode. For any of you who are unsure if you want to purchase it, then feel free to subscribe, because then you can keep an eye out for when I go live and I'll give you my honest opinion. The main thing that has me wanting to play this is to test out the new movement mechanics within the new round-based map. What are you looking forward to? I really hope you enjoyed my journey through the history of Call of Duty Zombies. And if you missed my other episodes, then please feel free to go back and watch them. Of course, if you enjoyed this, then please leave a like so I can reward myself with a cookie.
I'm gonna kill you.
You guys have been amazing, where I've been Elwood from Not So Serious Gaming. I hope you have a great morning, evening, night, whatever time of day is. I hope you have a great one. Peace out. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it to the end. I just wanted to shout out my brand new merch. Items such as cups, mouse mats, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and even a poster, cause why the hell not? There's even a top with a Rex wearing a little hat. Click the link down below and check it out for yourself. I've also set up a Patreon for those who are asking to support me in another way. Of course, don't feel like you have to, and have a great day.
The f*** was that?